I want to ask you something honestly. Have you ever noticed that every time someone attacks Peter Obi, his support actually grows? Every time APC calls him a political nomad, more people rally behind him. Every time someone says he's running from a fight, he gains more attention. So I went back and studied every move he had made carefully. And what I found actually shifted how I see this whole story. Peter Obi has now been in 4 parties in 3 years: PDP, Labour Party, ADC, NDC, and the ruling party spokesperson just called him a political nomad and a politician made of jelly. But here's what is interesting. After every attack, after every party change, after every criticism, the conversation around Peter Obi gets louder, not quieter. So let me show you 5 clips that together tell a very different story from what his critics are pushing, because when you lay them all out, a specific pattern emerges. First, let me show you the man himself, because before you believe what his enemies are saying about his ambitions, you should hear directly what Peter Obi says about why he's doing this.
I'm not desperate to be president. Not am I desperate to be anything. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work, especially for the youths of this country. It's not about, I keep saying, it's not about winning or losing. I would rather lose doing the right thing than win doing the wrong thing. My politics have been consistent in character and integrity throughout the time I started. And you can go and check.
In his words, not their spirit, but here's why that matters. APC's presidential spokesperson Bayo Onanuga described Obi as a political nomad and a politician made of jelly, suggesting his exit from ADC was motivated by an inability to compete for the party's presidential ticket. But the man himself is saying this is not about personal ambition. Peter Obi said, "The condition of our nation and the urgent need to rescue Nigeria informed my decision to leave ADC for NDC." This is Peter Obi at the NDC convention, and what he said about why he left is the clearest explanation ever.
Nigeria must have democracy, and we insist that those who think we will not have free and fair election in 2027, let them rethink now. Because in 2027 we are going to have free, fair, and credible election. We want Nigeria to love each other. That is why people think we are changing party. Where we are now, let me assure you, we are not changing party because we want it for transaction. We were changing it, like Churchill says, some men change party based on their principle, and some men change party because of opposite of it. So they change their principle to stay in a party. We change because we want to have a place, we have opportunity to build a new Nigeria that is possible.
Obi said, "I left the ADC for the same reason I left the Labour Party. The severe orchestrated litigation and internal crisis. Orchestrated. That is the word he used, not accidental, not bad luck, orchestrated." So he's basically saying someone is deliberately following him to every party he enters and setting fire to it from within. Now, this is a serious allegation, but it is also a pattern that multiple people have confirmed. Now, this next clip is the one that has APC the most uncomfortable. An ADC member gave a very bold prediction about what happens to Tinubu after 2027.
Before 12 p.m., Tinubu will be out of Aso Rock. It's not a bragging, it's a reality. They cannot withstand the heat of the OK ticket. And that's why they're beginning to push some of this narrative out there to discountenance the ticket. The ticket represents hope, represent education, represent hospital, represent the average masses that is going to bear without hope. We spend money on education without hope of where these kids, when they graduate, where they are going to work. We need a country that will be productive. And that's why His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi has always been very clear about it.
Just imagine, that was a bold statement, and APC has been very quick to respond. They said they are not moved by anyone leaving one party for another. They said they are ready to face any party in 2027. But here's what is interesting. When you are truly not worried about something, you do not respond to it this fast. I mean, the speed of APC's response to every Peter Obi move tells you more about their confidence level than any press statement ever could. Now, this next clip is the one most Nigerians have not seen. A long-time political friend of Peter Obi reveals something. He says Obi has maintained consistently that he's only asking for 4 years, that he has a specific plan to execute and complete his work within that single term.
The party trusts Peter Obi if he wins to stand or abide by this agreement. Is it a written agreement, verbal agreement? What kind of agreement is this?
Well, it is part of the promise of a new Nigeria. What we are doing with NDC and with Mr. Peter Obi you have referred to is something that will be novel, something that has not happened in Nigeria before, where people do not want to quit office. Once you give them the baton, they run away with the baton, unless you force them out. Mr. Obi was very conscious of the need to preserve national unity. And he recognizes that for him to succeed, he must not eat into the tenure of the North. So he confined himself ab initio to the 4 years available to Southern Nigeria. As to whether people are honorable or not, it's only a character like Mr. Peter Obi who can do that, because he has always told you what he can do. And for those who are doubting him, I can tell you I have known Peter Obi in fact, I've been his longest political associate since 2001. He started his politics with me, and I can tell you that once he has said it, that is the way it's going to be. If he goes into office, assuming Nigerians vote for him and he wins, Peter Obi will leave after 4 years. In fact, in my discussions with him, he has already started making his plans on how to deliver his promises to Nigerians within 4 years.
4 years, one term, specific plan, walk away. Now, whether you believe that or not, no other presidential candidate in Nigeria has made that kind of commitment publicly. Not Tinubu, not Atiku, not Buhari. Only Peter Obi's camp is saying 4 years, that is all we are asking for. And that message is landing with millions of Nigerians who are tired of presidents who spend their entire time in office planning how to stay longer. Now, before you think this is a Peter Obi fan video, let me show you the final clip. Because Rufai Oseni raised some very real concerns about NDC and about what Peter Obi is walking into. And these are concerns every Nigerian should take seriously before 2027.
I just want to say something. If the ADC was so bold to have done what the NDC did over this weekend, probably Obi would not have gone. You see, let's stop deceiving ourselves. Yes, there's no written rule. And I'm saying this because I see people now pushing another propaganda and agenda now. That since the return to democracy, the South has ruled more than the North. That is the turn of the North. We are talking about a prevailing convention. This was the same thing that made Wike fall at loggerheads with Atiku. One expected the ADC to have taken a decision that power should come to the South. I mean, in 2031, nobody goes around saying, no, they don't know it's the convention of the North to be able to come. Let's call a spade a spade. Yeah, people can go back and say, oh, it was the North Stone that Jonathan used and all of that. Valid argument. But was it right? I keep asking these people that after 8 years of Buhari, power should now go back to the North again. That was not right in 2023 now. It was not right. That's just it, pure and simple. So the NDC has done it. Now, we will now press their neck to give us manifesto and tell us things they will do for Nigeria. Secondly, most importantly, Oji, the NDC now need to go and fix that court case of Ado. Because that might be another albatross. Now, I was seeing a story that said, Ado said he has collected the CTC of how the registration was done. They are definitely go at loggerheads. The question is, can the NDC speak to Ado about it? Because Ado is still paying because Ada didn't come true. Ada. What is fine? But in all of this, can they speak? Because we want a viable opposition. Because if Ada's case against the MDC falls through, and this one that Nafiu Golagombe has been able to hold the ADC by the jugular, there might be a problem for the opposition. We do not want that.
Now, I want your honest take. Do you think the attack on Peter Obi are actually hurting him or helping him? And do you believe someone is deliberately orchestrating crisis in every party he joins? Please drop your answer below and be honest, not what you want to believe, what the evidence tells you. So that is the full breakdown. Peter Obi is not desperate by his own words. He left because of orchestrated crisis by his own accounts, confirmed by others. His camp promises 4 years with a specific plan, and every attack on his name makes the conversation louder, not quieter. So whether you love him or question him, nobody can deny that Peter Obi is the most talked about politician in Nigeria right now, and 2027 will be the final verdict on everything being said about him today. If this gave you something to think about, hit the like button and help us to share this video. Let's keep everyone informed, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because I don't want you to miss my next update, and trust me, you won't be disappointed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.